lecturer at North Carolina University. And this is one of the things he brought up. And there's plenty of things that happen in two that show this clearly, that it's like, okay, no, everyone was looking the other way.
Very much so.
You know, they weren't doing the due diligence, because why would you when everybody's making so much money, right?
Yeah. You ever see The Big Short?
Exactly. And I made the comment in my article, it's like, the reason why Michael Burry made so much money was because he did all the due diligence, not just some of it.
Exactly.
He didn't ignore it. He didn't do just some of it. He did all of it. He read every page.
Yeah, and he could see just how like fucked everything was.
Right. And this is what Steve Eisman brought up, where even up to the bank level, he was explaining how these collateralized debt obligations, all these mortgages in a box. He said what the banks would do, because he was working with the banks at the time, is instead of going through all 1,000 pages of mortgages, they would take a sample, a statistically significant sample, which it's fair. It's statistically solid that you don't need to look at all of them. You can just look at a sample and get a basic idea. But with how much variation was in those bonds, they probably should have looked at a much larger sample. So they'd look at like 30% or whatever, not even 50, like 30% of the bonds. So they'd look at like 30% or whatever, not even 50, like 30% of the bonds. They'd take a look at them. They'd hand them their analysts, say, what does this look like? If they looked like they were too risky, they'd hand them back to the brokers and say, we don't want these anymore. Give us some other ones. But what Steve Eisman was upset about is like, they didn't look at the rest once they threw out that 30%. They threw out that 30% and said, okay, we're hunky-dory. It was a failure of due diligence, as well as fraud, as well as reach for yield, and all those other things happening in the same area. But they should have done their due diligence. When I talk about being some of the smartest people in the financial world, these, interest rate traders and these interest rate analysts are some of the best. They should have been smart enough to know that, or they did and they looked the other way.